Saturn is regarded by astronomers as a gas giant, with an average radius approximately 9 times larger than Earth's. Although Saturn has only 1/8 of the average density of the Earth, it possesses much more volumes, which makes it more than 95 times more massive. Saturn is unique among the planets. It's a massive ball made mostly of hydrogen and helium, and it's adorned with thousands of beautiful ringlets. Some interesting facts and discoveries have been made about this gas giant. Going back on the 26th of April 2013, NASA's Cassini spacecraft was able to get close to the planet's atmosphere. The raw images, which were later developed, showed complex structures and a dark swirling storm-like appearance, which NASA has called a giant hurricane. The Cassini spacecraft died within approximately 1,900 miles from the top of Saturn's clouds, and within 200 miles from the innermost visible edge of the rings during its expedition. The Cassini spacecraft also captured something strange while flying past Saturn. The image was captured on the 30th of November in 2006, at 6:21 in the morning. As stated on the official NASA website, the camera was pointing towards Saturn, and the image was taken using the MT3 and IRP90 filters. Image credit goes to NASA GPL Caltech Space Science Institute. Something to note though is that this mysterious object only appears in 2 images. Cassini was able to snap hundreds of thousands of images, so whoever discovered this anomaly did so by accident, or sat there and spent a lot of time looking for this object. If this was the case, it seems that their hard work and patience paid off. The few that have seen this image have described it as an anomaly, and something that looks out of place. Others have suggested it looks like it's sitting on one of Saturn's rings. Another idea is that it could be a camera anomaly. NASA have said that when these cameras are in space, it's not uncommon for them to pick up on anomalies, further saying that some of them look interesting, but ultimately they are nothing. Others have gone down the route of saying that unidentified flying objects can be seen in old photos, and this could be the case for this photograph. Various amateur researchers have come forward and said that these UFOs are interested in our planet, with people dedicating their lives to finding them in NASA photographs. Another idea is that what we're seeing is celestial objects crashing into the planet. As said by NASA, Saturn's rings are thought to be pieces of comets, asteroid or shattered moons that broke up before they reached the planet, so it's no stranger to these pieces of space debris. As of right now though, people are struggling to agree on what can be seen. Interestingly, Saturn's moon Enceladus is of interest to researchers. It's being put forward that this moon may be able to support life, and this claim comes after scientists said that its ocean is over 1 billion years old, further saying that this is a sweet spot. Tracking and censorship is a topic that's always going to divide people. There's pros and cons for both sides of the argument. Something that some may not be aware of is during the 1990s, a researcher by the name of Chris Pister had an idea. This was that the world would be filled with tiny sensors, all of which would be the size of a grain of rice. They have become known as smart dust particles, and they would have the ability to monitor various things. These tiny devices would be fitted with sensing equipment and an onboard computer. They would have long battery lives and could make observations of their surroundings. Back in the 90s this was just an idea, but scientists and researchers have now said it's possible. A professor from the University of California has said it's an exciting time. Smart dust is here and it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. The idea has been in development for years, with the Hewlett-Packard company saying they hope to deploy around 1 trillion of these devices over the planet. On paper, the idea of these devices is great. It's been said they will be able to monitor ecosystems to ensure everything is healthy, pick up on changes in the Earth. For example, being able to tell us when an earthquake is about to hit, and help save energy. Researchers have now said they want to get it out of the lab and into the real world, but some that have heard about this technology have expressed their concerns. One scientist who didn't reveal their identity or where they worked said the following: "This is a fantastic idea, but the one worry I have is that these devices aren't sprayed on food or consumed by humans. They could essentially be used as a tracker, and you'd never know they was inside you. I'm not saying this is the intention of the device, but it's a route that could happen." Not many people are aware of this technology, but some have also expressed similar concerns. In fact, it's reminded some of miniature versions of microchips. Although these devices seem futuristic, they are being used and trialled in various locations across the planet. It was reported a few years back that a Swedish company asked its employees to have these microchips embedded underneath their skin. They said that one of the main benefits of this was to help with passing through locked doors and other secure places. It's believed that between 3,000 and 4,000 people have had a microchip installed in Sweden, and the chip is smaller than a single grain of rice. People having these devices installed under their skin has been on the increase over the last 3 years, with officials saying the technology was first introduced in Sweden in 2015. One person who got the device fitted said you don't even realize it's there, and it helps with passing through secure places in the company. So my question to you guys is, what do you make of these smart dust devices? And if your company asked you to have a microchip embedded in your skin, what would you say? Recently, photographs have been taken above Israel, which show mysterious lights pulsating. Those who witnessed the event said the lights in question were coming out of a hole in the sky, while others said they were coming out of another light. They were described as being a bright colour and pulsating. However, some noted that they didn't make any noise. When trying to take photographs of them, the residents said their cameras weren't able to focus on the objects, and this was because the lights they were giving off were very bright. One resident said the following about the event: "I was alerted to the lights by one of my friends, who said that something strange could be seen in the sky. As I went outside, I could see a strange looking light. It was flying silently in the sky, stopping and pulsating every 30 seconds or so. After doing this for several minutes, it then stopped in the sky and started to ripple. After this, the larger light split into smaller lights. These smaller lights somehow came out of the larger light and started to act the same, flying around silently while pulsating. In all my life, I've never seen anything like this before. Me and my friends have no idea what we witnessed." Interestingly, many the world over have reported similar looking objects, and they've been given the name of glowing UFOs. Glowing UFOs come in all shapes and sizes, with the most common ones being circular and triangular in shape. What's strange though is that these glowing UFOs make no noise, and are able to travel at extremely high speeds. One of the issues when trying to snap photographs of them is that they turn out blurry. Photographers have said this comes down to the bright lights they give off, and because of how fast they're travelling. Snapping an image of a glowing object several hundred meters away and while moving is no easy task. So what are people seeing? There's no shortage of videos and photographs showing these mysterious glowing lights. Interestingly, Skinwalker Ranch is one property where these orbs have been seen. One family who lived there started noticing glowing balls moving around the property. The balls gave off a crackling sound, seemed intelligently controlled and could either hover or move unbelievably fast. One evening the family watched as a blue ball approached one of their horses. The light hovered within a foot of the horse's face, which spooked it immediately. From a distance of 10 feet they shined a flashlight on the blue globe, and it then retreated at a fast speed. It then approached one of the family members, as if inspecting them. They described it as a glass ball around the size of a baseball, which appeared to contain two blue fluids which intermingled with each other. Some have suggested these lights are connected to unidentified flying objects. Some, however, have said they could be ball lightning. Ball lightning is the strange occurrence of when the conditions appear to be just right, and the static discharge of a normal thunderstorm creates what appears to be a floating ball. These balls are said to be pure lightning and energy. Not only do these strange, unexplained instances of ball lightning create an unexplainable perfect spherical shape, but they also appear to move erratically through the sky, and have often been mistaken as alien encounters. Interestingly, scientists are no closer to understanding what causes ball lightning, and believe that the circumstances surrounding the appearance might be completely unexplainable, given the numerous amount of variables surrounding their creation. Researchers have described our oceans as being the single most unexplored region of the planet. Our oceans are teeming with both undocumented marine species and impossible to explain mysteries, some of which have left researchers and scientists confused. In the last 10 years alone, many mysterious discoveries have been made in our oceans. Although some of these have been explained, there's some that have left researchers with more questions than answers. One of these discoveries is that of a giant underwater pyramid. Amateur researchers said they discovered two large structures resembling pyramids a few years back. These can be found around 200 kilometers from New York. What's strange about these structures though is that they appear to be almost identical. The pyramids have a height of several hundred meters, but are around 45 kilometers from each other. One thing that people soon noticed was that their location is in a straight line with the Great Pyramids of Giza in Egypt, and also the famous Pyramid of the Sun which can be found in Mexico. This has caused some to put forward the idea that ancient monuments across the planet match up. This idea has become known as ley lines. A ley line is believed to be a marking place for an intersecting line of energy naturally produced by the planet that causes supernatural experiences to occur at specific coordinates on the planet. These ley lines could be seen as points of focus for spiritual energy or electromagnetic phenomena. Because of this, some have theorized that beneath these giant structures could be a powerful source. After all, some have suggested that the Great Pyramids at Giza were actually generators. One amateur researcher has said there has to be a connection with all these pyramids. They went on to say the following: "I think it's strange how this hasn't been investigated by mainstream archaeologists and researchers. Why did all these ancient cultures build near-exact replica buildings? How would they have known to have done this? It's not just one or two cultures either. All across the planet these giant pyramid structures can be found, with researchers still unsure as to how they were constructed. Perhaps if we understand and research our history more, it will give us the answers we're looking for." Others have said that thousands of years ago a great flood happened, and many of the world's pyramids are now underwater. This is the case with Fujian Lake. Underneath the lake is a giant pyramid. This discovery was made back in 2006. Many reports were made by divers and water enthusiasts that would boat on the lake. They claim that the appearance of what seems to be an underwater building could be seen. Enough reports were made, and on the 13th of June a team of archaeological divers decided to search the lake. They discovered the remains of a group of huge ancient buildings at the bottom of the lake, the most noted of them being a vast stone pyramid located in the centre. Jurassic Park has gone down in history as being one of the greatest pieces of cinematography. Due to its massive amount of success, it spawned various sequels, getting millions of people across the planet interested in these giant predators that once called this place home. After seeing Jurassic World and the park in full operation, many people were asking the same question, and that is, can scientists bring dinosaurs back to life? The thought of seeing a Tyrannosaurus Rex in the flesh is very appealing to many people, but is it possible? Dr. Jack Horner is a paleontologist who works at Montana State University, and over the years has been a leading voice in the paleontology community. In fact, Horner served as the technical advisor for all the Jurassic Park films. What he's become known for in recent years though is speaking up about Dinosaurs. Those scientists are in agreement that we can't use DNA to bring back dinosaurs. They have said we may be able to get around this, and this is by using modern day chickens. Scientists at Harvard and Yale have said that all we need to do is modify their DNA. Jack Horner said the following during an interview. Of course birds are dinosaurs, so we just need to fix them so they look a little more like a dinosaur. Basically what we do is we go into an embryo that's just beginning to form, and we use some genetic markers to sort of identify when certain genes turn on and when they turn off. And by determining when certain genes turn on, we can sort of figure out how a tail begins to develop, and we want to fix that gene so it doesn't stop the tail from growing. Interestingly, going back a few years ago, biologists took it upon themselves to carry out a test which would show them what a chicken and a dinosaur hybrid would look like. The scientists working on the project were able to isolate clusters of genes that aid in facial development. The team was then able to discover a way of stopping them in the chicken embryos. After doing this, what they were left with was an animal that looked very similar to what a velociraptor would have looked like. The lead author of the study, Bart Anjabala, from Yale University, said the following. We had not set out to create a dinosaur chicken. When examining an important evolutionary transformation, we wanted to find out about the underlying process. The beak is part of the avian skeleton that most extensively and radically diversified. We wanted to find out if the beak was functional. The scientists wanted to highlight the fact that beaks develop in a much different way to snouts. This is because they use a different set of genes. This proves that the beak is an adaptation, as opposed to being a nose shape that is slightly different. Michael Bentham from Bristol University in the UK said the following. I believe that the move from the snout to a beak occurred around 40 to 50 million years after the Archaeopteryx. As of right now, the scientists have said there's no plans to hatch these raptor-looking chickens. The scientists went on to say the following. These weren't drastic modifications. They are far less weird than many breeds of chickens developed by chicken hobbyists and breeders. The rest of the animal looked okay, but one needs to think about this carefully from an ethical point of view. So what do you make of this announcement? And would you like to see dinosaurs once again roaming the planet? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.